You gonna pray for us?
Yes, sir.
Need all we can get.
I'm gonna try to. I don't know if it's gonna do any good.
Come on, y'all.
Bow our heads. Dear gracious Heavenly Father, God, we thank you so much for this and another day. Lord, we're so thankful, Lord, for your wonderful blessings that you bestowed upon us today, Lord, the ones that we've seen, Lord, and the ones that we've not even thought about. God, we come to you tonight, Lord, asking that you bless this meeting, Lord, bless this city, Lord, as we continue to grow. Just bless all the occupants of today's meeting, Lord. Ask for all these things in your dear gracious Heavenly name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, all right, well, we'll call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Corbin City Board of Commissioners today, October 16th, 2023. With a roll call.
Moore,
Here.
Shepherd,
Here.
Baker,
Here.
Gamble,
Here.
Rasmus.
All right. First on the agenda is to approve the September bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. All right, next to approve the minutes from the September 20th special call meeting.
Motion to approve. Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. All right, next is the first reading of ordinance 2023-12, an ordinance establishing a portion of 23rd Street as a one-way street for vehicular traffic and motorists, all in the city of Corbin, Kentucky, setting fine, jurisdiction, and venue for violation of this ordinance.
ordinance number 2023-12, an ordinance of the city of Corbin, Kentucky, establishing a portion of 23rd Street as a one-way street for vehicular traffic and motorists, all in the city of Corbin, Kentucky, setting fine, jurisdiction, and venue for violation of this ordinance. Be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the city of Corbin, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, that a portion of 23rd Street in the city of Corbin, Kentucky, beginning at the bridge over Bacon Creek and continuing to the intersection of 23rd Street and Kentucky Highway 3041, the Corbin bypass, shall be one way for vehicular traffic and motorists. Section 2, the city manager shall cause the proper signage to be placed at the above described location in accordance herewith. Section 3, all vehicular traffic, motorists, and others shall abide by the above described designation of a one-way travel for a portion of 23rd Street as set forth herein and all general Commonwealth of Kentucky traffic regulations and laws related thereto. Section 4, any person in violation of this ordinance shall be fined according to the existing city ordinances relating to vehicular traffic violations and or Commonwealth of Kentucky vehicular and motorist traffic regulations and laws. Section 5, Whitley District Court shall have venue and jurisdiction to adjudicate all violations of this ordinance. Section 6, all ordinances or portions of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 7, this ordinance shall take effect upon due passage and legal advertisement. First reading, October 16th, 2023.
Motion to adopt.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2023-12.
Second.
Gamble,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. All right, next to approve a refund to Terry Jo or Karen Martin located at 19 Gilson Way for 2022 tax bills for $126.36 and 2021 tax bill for $130.38 for a total refund of $256.74. They were eligible for the homestead exemption.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. Alright, next is to request approval for an estimate for early warning system for the city of Corbin.
We had people to go out and they check our early warning signals every so often. And when they came back, we'd had some major issues. I think Mary and them went out with them on a lot of places. you all got an estimate in there, the gentleman that does that, Corbin Communications, always takes care of our early warning signals. We are gonna turn this in on insurance too, because he thinks we might possibly get our money back on it. But we do need to go ahead and approve this will be broken down and taken out each department in the city. It's $15,837.05, but we've got some major issues.
Okay.
Say that amount one more time, 15.
It's in your packet there, it's $15,837.05.
And by early warning, is this the tornado sirens?
Yes,
Okay,
storm, tornado, whatever.
we gotta get those.
We need to get those fixed.
All of them's working but the one. He's checked everything and he's fixed all the rest of them, put new batteries in them, but this one, it's,
Pretty well
it
fried.
got struck by lightning. So we're gonna try and turn it in on the insurance. He said he probably thinks it would go through insurance. So,
This is just the lowest,
That's the estimate, the lowest.
Set the offer.
Yes.
Set the estimate.
Except the estimate.
So I make a motion to accept the estimate that the city manager provided. I'll second.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Alright. Next is the memorandum of understanding by and between Deborah Young and the city of Corbin for the gifting of the song Corbin, Kentucky, the sweetest spot in the South. Maggie?
Yes, ma'am. All right, thank you all. Not sure if the interview ended up. Okay, great, okay, awesome. So wanted to make.
Oh, I've got one.
Well, first I'll say that, this has been in discussion with the mayor and myself. And second, and most importantly, the city attorney and I have worked on this together. So this final copy is, the blessed copy, barring any changes that the commission would like to see prior to, I guess, voting to allow the mayor to sign it. Not necessary, I'd love to see action on this item tonight. However, at the pleasure of the commission. So, if you will recall, during the Mid Rock Festival, the mayor proclaimed Corbin, Kentucky, the sweetest spot in the South, written and produced by Debbie Young. And to my knowledge, I think we're the only city that has an official song. I think that it's kind of time to make some type of formal agreement. So Debbie, I had called Deborah and spoke with her. We had a long conversation, and basically this memorandum of understanding, she is gifting the city of Corbin with all the use of the song and lyrics for any and all publicity, marketing, promotion, and total profits from all sales that might follow. We can design any logos, t-shirts, stickers, swag, and produce and manufacture them, of course, at our expense. But essentially, this is an artist gifting the rights, for us to utilize this, this song however we wish. So, but, we could sell CDs, with the thought process that, now her, she does own the copyrights on her material, as all artists do, and we would need to credit that information if we were to produce a CD, in all fairness. But basically, we were obviously in agreement that this was an awesome opportunity, and she just wanted to have a memorandum of understanding in place between her as the artist who owns her song with the city, being able to have the rights to produce it.
It's a very kind gift for her. and it'll
Absolutely
do-
generous. And the thought
It is.
process that I have discussed with Deborah, long story short, is that, this would be something that we would sing, prior to events and different things of that nature. And it's really a marketing and promotional tool for the city.
It's very valuable.
Yes.
I don't know about, I read the memorandum of understanding and it seemed very solid to me. And knowing that it's been blessed by Bob,
Oh, yeah.
I'm A-okay with it.
I gotta give
That would
Maggie a
be-
bunch of credit for it. All I did was read it and made some X's and O's, So,
Well, Maggie, thank
I
you
give her
for,
credit.
I like to keep stuff moving forward.
Not mention Debbie was a 1976 graduate of Corbin High School too, so.
So you need a motion to approve it and authorize the mayor to sign it.
I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum and the mayor to sign.
Second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Moore.
yes.
Fluharty.
Thank you.
All right. We're kicking right through these guys. Yeah. All right, Bruce?
Maybe sit back and relax, buddy.
Started. When he first spoke, she didn't start it when he first spoke.
It's all right. Turn that clock up. I'll leave what you. How's that?
Mhm.
As we previously discussed, on the expansion at the Corbin Center, and, as you know, we've got a group that you all agreed, moving forward with a hotel on the property that sits adjacent to the Corbin Center. If you're facing the corners, facing the Corbin Center, it'd be to the west. There's approximately, Marlon, I think, a little over 4 acres that would.
4.29.
Yeah, 4.29 acres. And we've gone through the process with them, and you all are aware of that, and they've agreed to purchase that land. I think the purchase price was $1 million. And they've signed documents, you all have as well. What we were waiting on, before we actually started in design, was the design and acceptance by the, Motels Corporation parent company to approve their design. They have, and I actually met with those folks as well a few months ago when they were in town. They have now tweaked and made some changes, and they are ready to move forward with purchasing that property. And so what they want from the commission, and the reason we really have not presented you all with a rendering, is because we had to wait until they got approved for their design so that we could then locate the utilities, which have to be relocated, into an easement. And so that, we've gone through that process. In fact, City Utilities bid that out last week. The bid opening on the utility movement is October the 24th is when they'll open those bids and hopefully award that, and we'll be able to start on the moving of the infrastructure, the sewer and the water lines. And what you have in front of you is a design, a conceptual design, and I'm gonna walk up here, I know everyone can hear me. The part that you see in the shadow or the darker is where the existing building is. The newer part is, if you read that, and it's very small, but you can see there's about an additional 12,668 square feet that we're looking to add to the existing facility, which will give us a total of about 33,000, a little over 33,000 square feet in that Corbin Center. This will allow us to have a much larger banquet room. This will seat approximately 320, whereas right now we're at about 260, 270 comfortably in the existing facility, so we'll be able to increase that quite a bit. And that's basically what this facility will be. We're gonna expand the kitchen area to have a larger kitchen area for catering. And then, you'll see there's an audio-visual setup which we do not have in the existing. But I was very, kind of wanted to really make sure we included that for, a number of reasons. And then the restroom. So it's basically an expansion of about almost 13,000 square feet. And the reason they would just like your all's acceptance of this, so that they're ready to start moving forward right after the first year of closing on the property. And that will give us time to start the design now that we've got all the infrastructure in place, or at least, we're gonna be putting that, bid that out. So I just wanted to present this to you, to get your, answer any questions, thoughts, comments, but hopefully in agreement to accept this, so Marlon then can forward to them the minutes from the meeting and a letter saying that you all have accepted this conceptual design, and then we'll start moving forward with the full plans on it and be ready, hopefully, to bid it out sometime right after the first of the year as well. Yes, sir.
Where's the attachment gonna be at on the building?
I'm sorry. Oh, the attachment.
Yeah.
There'll be a walkway. This is our existing building, so
Yeah.
this will be the easement area. But it'll be basically where the doors are coming out on the west end.
Okay.
And there'll be a breezeway that will attach to it. Yeah, it's a covered breezeway. You know, we discussed that as one of the things that we really felt like we needed in that facility was, since you're transitioning from the hotel to the center, that you would have a covered walkway. And I think that the easement area is about, what did we say, 22 feet? 22 feet wide, so somewhere in that vicinity will be a covered walkway that will transition from the hotel into the new addition.
Might mention about sleeve and everything in the infrastructure.
Yeah, and I had a lot of conversations with Ron Hurd and the engineers on this. Because you've got that covered breezeway, potentially if you ever had a issue with the sewer water, they are gonna sleeve all that, so that basically they would not have to disrupt or tear out the covered walkway or the sidewalk, but we would be able to, any work they would need to do, it would be sleeved, so that they could easily remove that without doing any damage or having to or remove any of that and then replace it.
I mean, these plans are incredible.
Well, hopefully we'll have a much better rendering once we start getting into the design phase, but this gives you the basic. And to refresh your memory, as I said, we were very fortunate you all received from Central Stivers $2.5 million, which you all had in the bank for some time, earning interest. And then with the $1 million sale, the projected cost on this is approximately $3.3 million, but that also includes renovation of the existing building. The entryways out front, nothing's really changed there. No renovation or any upkeep on that. The 20 years that building's been there. We need a facelift on it, plus some other things within the initial, in the existing kitchen area as well. So the total estimated cost is $3.3 million, but that would include some renovation on the existing building as well, which all that funding can be used for that. And we'll go through the whole bid process of it, obviously, and to give you, even on our infrastructure, we went ahead and timed that bid. I'm getting ready to do, where we're building our new spec building in Industrial Park. We were also bidding out to put in our water and sewer, so we actually timed those together, so we're gonna open those the same day. Separate bids, obviously, but hoping that we get a very competitive bid, that you've got two projects here that will begin together, about the same time, and then we'll do a very competitive bid on the building itself. Give you an example. I think I told you last time, or just recently, when we opened our spec building. I don't know, Bob, I'm just gotta keep it here a little bit. But we did have eight bids on our spec building, which was the most we've had, so we feel like we can get a very competitive bid on this when we do bid it out. And no, it's all wrong.
What was the projected timeline?
It's probably gonna be about 2 years, approximately.
It has to be extended because of the infrastructure, right?
Yes. But like I say, the developer on the hotel, they are ready to, close out on it on the first year with you all and then begin, sometime, that first quarter, in the first quarter as well, start building. And this will just allow them to feel comfortable that you all accepted this and we can all start moving forward.
Sounds great. Looks great.
Looks great, so, yeah.
Thank you, Bruce.
So if we can get a motion to accept this. Thank you all.
I'll make the motion to accept the design, concept that we have here, as is. For the Corbin Center. For the Corbin Center, yeah. I'll second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes. All right. Next is the city manager's report.
We need to re-advertise for the awning for the arena. We got no bids, the other day at the deadline, and then the next day we received a bid, so we're a little bit too late. So we need to re-advertise for that,
Okay.
for the awning.
You just need a motion to,
Yes.
I'll make a motion to re-advertise for bids for the awning.
Second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Moore,
yes.
Also, in your packets, there's a thing on there about the housing authority, if you all will look at that. Sky was wanting me to do this tonight for her. It says every year we receive a check from the housing authority, and it's called a payment in lieu of taxes. There's a specific sheet in your package there that shows what it's used for, to determine how much each housing authority would owe. And Sky learned this year that it's up to the mayor and the commission to determine how to choose those, or spend those funds. A lot of the cities will return their city back to the housing authority to let them use it for what they need to do, upgrade on sidewalks, different things. And, there's a copy of the check in there, they got back $23,000. And the mayor and I had talked about it, and Scott did too, and I think Robert Hayes is doing a great job up there. It'd be my recommendation to you all that we give that money back to the housing authority.
And you've already spoken with the mayor about this, and that is,
Yes, Sky and I met with her and told her about it, so,
okay,
and that was what she wanted to do.
I agree with that 100%.
That's sort of a standard operating procedure to return it.
In most housing authorities it is. And like Sky said, she just learned this year that we can do it. The lady in Catonsburg said that's what they do, and they give a list of that they do, what they do for improvements. The amount of that check is $23,188.23. It should be reports.
I think this is a good way. The housing authority obviously knows where they need to spend these funds better than we could.
Make a motion to return the $23,188.23 back to the Corbin Housing Authority. Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
We also need to re-advertise for the firefighters test, right, Barry?
Yes.
You had none the last test?
We had three,
Three.
yeah, and we, go ahead.
Some hired one, but didn't think the test was certified.
Right, right. And what we're gonna do this time, we're gonna change the criteria on it to make it easier, because now we've got a fire academy that we can send firefighters to, that the fire commission pays to get them certified. And so we're gonna change it to where you don't have to have the 150 hours before you can take the test now. So maybe we can get more people. Three tests ago, we had 9. Time before last, we had 6, and this last time we just had 3 tests. So we gotta do something.
I make a motion to re-advertise the fireman test
I'll second.
Campbell,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
I have one other thing. Some of you I know received a complaint on parking at Ford Avenue.
Yes.
Our ordinance says that you can park all the way down through there on the right side. And that was done back in 1981. That's a very small road. Everyone has a driveway over there. It would be my recommendation that we make it no parking on the right side of that.
So on both sides, you just can't park on.
It's already yellow on the left side, but there's some instances of people backing out over there, and it's very tight. I have a picture of it, not to send.
That's the southeast side of Master Street, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, it's incredibly narrow.
it's very narrow there.
And
It's hard for any kind of emergency vehicle to get over there if something's going on, especially when.
So it's Ford Street.
They turn right onto Ford Street at Roy Kidd and go down to Barberville Street.
It's between,
Poor kid and broken.
It's directly across from Rotary Park, and it's the first road on the left if you're coming over the bridge from the football stadium.
if you're leaving, coming from Roy Kidd to Barberville, it's on the left side or right side?
Right side.
Right side.
Right side has legal parking there. Left side, yeah, we need to make it yellow on both sides.
No parking on the right
No
side.
parking, yes, I'm sorry.
I agree with that, and I've been over there, I've looked at it, I have pictures of how narrow the road is, and all the different colors that the curbs have been painted over the years.
It's been needed for a long time.
It has, and I understand the complaints, and I know others have driven by. John, I think you've driven by, and everybody does have
It's right
driveways.
by the library, so I drive through there all the
Right.
time, and there are a lot of people that do, they park on the side.
It gets really congested with game traffic as well on that right side, and people cannot get in or out of their driveways.
Yeah, park right in front of the driveway.
Yeah. So it would be my recommendation to take Marlins to, I would support that.
Make a motion to
Bob to draft an ordinance.
Make a motion to authorize Bob to draft an ordinance to change, to no parking on either side of,
No parking on the right side.
no parking on the right side of
Ford Street.
Ford Street.
Ford Street.
From Roy Kidd to Barberville. Gotcha. I can do that.
I'll second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
I have nothing else.
All right, so, well, before we move on to the department's reports, does anybody here with us in the audience have anything that they would like to bring up? Sure? Come on up.
You ready?
Hello. Hi.
This is the first time I've been up here, so, really excited to meet everybody and see everybody. I'm Rachel Johnson, I'm a teacher at Corbin School of Innovation, and we're just here to kind of address any changes. You need to pull this down.
Yes, ma'am. So
I'm not good with microphones either, so. We're just here to address any some changes that are being made to our outdoor classroom that is on the corner of Poplar and 7th Street. And that's where our class goes outside to do some activities. We have a Monarch Way Station that we have started there. And, we use that pretty continuously through the week, through the year, of course, except for summer. And so we just have events there as well.
I'm Brooke Stansberry, and I teach upper elementary with Miss Johnson, and I want you to imagine what happened here last week. Miss Johnson had made a Galileo scope to show our students how that they could look at the eclipse. Yeah.
Now look at the sun.
And what happened was a Big Mac truck pulled up right in the middle of her lesson, and the guy was very, very nice, and but they were like, and we were like, oh, have you ever heard that song, They Paid Paradise to Put Up a Parking Lot? It was kind of like that. And so it turns out that we just learned that there was going to be a public outdoor gym space. So, and that is wonderful, and, you know, we all know that we could all stand to lose a few, but we would like to very humbly ask that perhaps you could keep our space the way it is, or maybe you could be as, you know, easy on it as possible. We had some trees planted there that were gifts from community partners. We've already got some plants out there that are native to Kentucky so that the monarchs can come. And we are the only K through 12 public Montessori school in this region. You really have to go to Louisville to find a school that's like ours. And having that outdoor space and having, you know, it's really a feather in our cap. And we are located under the gym of the elementary school. So our students use this all the time. And this was just the first that we'd heard about it. If we're out of line or anything, we certainly don't mean to be, but we found out that Friday that this was gonna happen, and then there just happened to be a meeting today. So thank you very much for your attention.
I also want to add that I talked to Kelly Watson. She's the Director of Natural Services at Eastern Kentucky University. Her and I work closely together, and that was my proposal for her for a grant to finish our way station. So that was where I was going to finish that with the help from EKU as well. So yeah, I won't have property to put the rest of that on there. And like I say, we're humbly asking to.
Is there anywhere else to put the outdoor equipment, or can we try to keep as much of the space
Thank
like
you
it
all
is?
for coming and bringing this to our attention. Absolutely. I just love everything that y'all are doing with the kids, and we are so lucky to have you all here in town. I wasn't aware that you all use the space, especially for the
They do
purposes.
they do use that space, but that is owned by the city of Portland.
It is, yes.
And
I
I've
was
already
gonna-
talked to Mr. Cox to be able to go ahead and put the outdoor fitness. We are gonna relocate everything over there for you, the trees, everything we're gonna replant. There will still be a lot of green space there. But, for us to be able to put that fitness court in there, that was the ideal place to put it.
So is there a plan already where all that stuff will be put, where are we putting all that at, I guess?
We would be putting it over here at the corner of Poplar and 7th, which you're talking about, little park right there beside what I call the old middle school.
Would we be able to, maybe this deserves some more discussion later on, is there any other places that we could put the other part, you know, possibly over by the Engineer Street Bridge, or anywhere we can relocate it to and possibly sell the land or donate the land to the school so they can keep their.
That's up to you all. I can look and see.
Okay.
We've been working on this for about 4 or 5 months. This is the area that we determined, so.
It's a great area for it. It is. It makes perfect sense. But I'm not looking to
We just
make
didn't
you
know
all
about it
move.
until now.
Yeah.
Well, I
Completely.
would hope Mr. Cox had told you all. but
He did.
apparently didn't.
Well,
Is-
things change, and you just, we're teachers down into the school, so sometimes that's,
I think I can speak for Susie too when she says that we can discuss this for sure.
Just, you guys can discuss it, and we're just happy to be heard, and like I said.
And it never hurts to ask.
It never hurts to ask, so.
We appreciate it. Exactly. Thank you all for coming.
I
And
was just gonna say, is there like a design that we could accommodate for all of these things at the same place? Or
I think you could do it with the outdoor fitness court there
I
too.
mean, do you see it as far as would you ever imagine it being all like everything there with the outdoor fitness and with what you all have there currently? Like, would you make
Just
that work?
the way that it was being painted off, it looked like, it did not appear that way to me, but
my concern would be security too.
we really do use it a whole lot, and I'm sorry, like, you know,
This is what we're here for.
Yeah.
And I will say too, as the science teacher, the STEM teacher, that I do go outside quite a bit to do those activities, whether it's related to the arts as reading or the maker space. That is our location for our maker space, and our 4-H agents come and help us as well with doing that. We work very closely with 4-H, and we would most likely have to do that in the parking lot. You know, that would be where I would have to, I mean, you know, you make things work, but we are sharing the school with the elementary, and so we have to share their schedule as well. So we are trying to be, you know, aware of their schedule, so we
use it during the school day, and then we also have after-school events there. On every night, you know.
Yeah, and it's all shared space.
I know in looking at other places, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
But there is understanding, the school and the city for years, the city does own that property.
I know.
We're just here asking just in case, but no, we understand that, yeah.
I know Susie's gonna wanna look into this more too, so we'll keep you all updated.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for hearing us out.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
All right, is there anybody else? Before we move on to the departments? All right, if not, then department reports. Who wants to go first? Barry?
No one jump all up.
Yeah.
One thing I got, we've already discussed, and that was to do that, and I appreciate y'all doing that for us, because we gotta have some more men, so.
Ready, Christie? Christie?
Marlon already brought mine up too.
Okay.
How about
The awning?
Yeah.
Okay. Maggie? Or yours is next, well, there's no more department heads?
That's here.
Okay. And tourism is next.
All right. Tourism/downtown. So, on the tourism side of things, the biggest, most important news that I would like to share with the city commission is, praise Jesus, the farmer's market pavilion is done. So the contractor released the property back to the tourism commission as of Thursday, and we were able to put it to great use during the festival Saturday. So we have lots of plans. The tourism commission has approved to decorate for Christmas and the whole 9 yards. So it is going to be a huge asset, you know, to the commission, the city, you know, everybody, tourists alike. So that ended up being about a $750,000 investment, all at the very end. So, but moving on to something, to another topic, I'd like to approach the commission tonight. Like I said earlier, I like to keep things moving forward, and so it is with your guidance and approval that we can continue or not continue to work on the proposed Finger Lickin' musical, which is a huge opportunity for the city at the end of the day. So if you'll recall, last year, the commission approved in our budget $3,000 to work with playwright and musical composers Bo List and Samuel Lockridge to draft a phase 1 proposal that could be submitted to KFC Corporate and Global for their permissions. We knew we had to have something in order to get that permission. We did receive permission from KFC, you know, to move forward with that. So in the fiscal year 24 planning, during our budget meetings, I had asked for, as a capital item, to keep the $10,000 as a line item in the downtown Corbin budget for phase 2. Phase 2 would of course include additional writing of scenes and songs, so forth, so on. So it's basically moving the project forward. At this time, we had a very legitimate discussion about what is the long-term bigger cost impact. So capital versus operational, and what's gonna be the total investment or return on investment. Now, you know, I know all kinds of different things, but musical productions and consultation is not in my wheelhouse. So I did a lot of research with a lot of folks in the state of Kentucky. You know, I called over and talked to, you know, the general manager person at Stephen Foster Story, had a long discussion with him, Center College Theater Program, the Southeastern Theater Conference, a lot of different experts. Asked a ton of different research-based questions as to who do we need in our pockets to be able to make informed decisions. And from those conversations, I was turned on to Matt Davenport Productions, which is one of the, you know, top dogs in the industry based out of Nashville. They are a one-stop shop turnkey operation based in Nashville. They do everything from, you know, casting for cruise lines and, you know, whether it's Walt Disney World or, you know, performers, scene production. They offer the consultation services. So I met with, you know, the Matt Davenport actually, and some of his awesome staff, and we had a very long conversation about what it is that we would need from them in order to just sit down at the end of it and have a real intense, in the weeds discussion about, are we gonna do it or are we not? And I think that the commission needs to be, you know, armed with that information to make an informed decision. So, they had said, Matt Davenport Productions had sent a, you know, and these services, consultation services, the budget process is not a free process. We're working with professionals who know their field and have years and years of experience doing this. So, they put together a proposal that would basically, have them to put together a first draft of a production budget to capitalize, pre-produce, and operate the Fingerlickin' musical for a first summer season of shows. Now, the total cost for the phase 1 budget development is $3,750. I am not asking for additional money on top of the initial $10,000 line item. I'm asking that the money for this be taken out of that line item, and when the time comes that we sit down and have this intense conversation, then we can, if we need to, look at that line item again.
I saw the research you put into it, and there's a lot of work that I know has gone into finding this company and everything on the back end, from getting the approval to move forward with his likeness, and
oh, yeah.
it has been,
it's an intense process.
It has been, and you've done a great job of shepherding it through, and I think $3,000 isn't that much. I mean, especially if it's not extra.
Right.
To move on and really start going forward.
I think that, you know, we're at that critical point. You know, I think we're at that critical point of, you know, shoot or don't shoot. And I think that in order to make those decisions, you really need qualified, you know, data. You know, this has the potential to, you know, continue to put Corbin on the map in so many different ways, but especially when we talk about revenue generation from, you know, groups coming in, not only to see the performance, but then to go to the buffet or, you know, shop in downtown Corbin as we create the experience, go to the horse track and bet on the horses, and, you know.
It also opens us up to a whole new line of funding for the performing arts and other centers that we could possibly invest in outdoors. It just opens up a world of possibilities once we have this finalized and showing.
Right.
I I guess we're gonna have a work session eventually with all of them.
So
Like, we
that's-
anticipate wanting to do that.
Yeah, so, well, I don't, you know, that would, the first process is for us to, you know, is for me to call Matt Davenport and say, you know, the commission is in, so let's look at a timeline. What kind of proposed timeline do you have for completion of this material? And then at that time, once we receive the material, the thought process is to do an intensive work session between the commission, Matt Davenport Productions, the playwright and musical composer, because there aren't there are questions that I can't really answer, even as much as I educate myself about it and have conversations and critical thinking, some stuff it's not in my wheelhouse to be able to answer. And we've all, you know, I've been working with the playwright and composer over the course of several years in dialogue and what would this look like? How would this be structured? But they're the artistic creators. I need the business side too. So yes, I would be able to furnish a timeline once, you know, I can speak to Matt Davenport Productions, and then we would just have an in the weeds dialogue about it, answer questions, dissect it, look at it, make an informed decision.
Now, if we move forward with this part of the project, just to be clear, are we locked into any sort of long-term contract with them to produce the rest of the show, or
It's
that
a
was my
phase. So this agreement would be for phase one only, which includes the items, you know, that I've talked about. Basically, you know, the first draft of a production budget.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because that's the ambiguous thing that we don't know, right? Like, what is this? And, you know, you have to have
Overall.
data to make those decisions.
That's what I thought, I just wanted to
Oh,
make sure it was clear on it.
Absolutely.
I guess, are they gonna like showcase like one way of, like one perspective, or are they gonna have like different scales of like what the production could be, I guess? Like, is it just gonna be like just one scale in terms of, cause you know, like the show could be as big as you wanted to make it, or it could be small as you wanted to make it, so I didn't know if they were gonna have the scale slider just to see like.
Well, so in my discussions, you know, with professionals, you know, who are currently running productions of this nature, like Stephen Foster's Story, or, you know, other theater programs, I have a pretty good infrastructural base of, like, you know, how many shows per season, ticket prices to stay competitive within our market, you know, all these different bits and pieces of information that, you know, in my discussions with Bo, who is a brilliant person. You know, so we're kind of giving them some of the infrastructure to create that budget from.
He's gonna put it all together.
Right, you know, hey, so let's say, you know, we do 60 shows in a season and we're charging $25 per ticket, and we anticipate 20,000 people, I'm just throwing data out here as an example. You know, we anticipate 20,000 people to come through, you know, but also the capital part. I mean, you know, you're gonna have to have, it's a question and it's an interview process, essentially. I mean, you know, and I think that if there's gonna come a point where what can we do to salvage this? Just like with a construction project. The architect comes out with this, you know, $500 million building, and then you whittle it down to what you can really afford. Is the way I envision.
Just glad we're at this point.
Yeah, well, I'm like, you know,
it's moving.
Yeah, let's move it along. Let's have some, you know, honest, intentional dialogue.
Somebody wanna make a motion? Do we need a motion to?
Yeah.
To accept?
So when would the playwrights, when would they need that money for phase two that we allocated for it?
We haven't, so I've been in conversation with them and said, listen,
Okay.
we need to, put a yield on this.
Okay.
And I need to take care of this business
Okay.
with the commission before we can even think, we can't move forward without.
That's what I was asking,
Yeah.
kind of in the
Oh, okay.
that's what.
And, they're fully,
Yeah.
aware and agreeable and, and during the work session as well, see, in the back end, I've also worked with the playwright to put together a roadmap for their part of it. So that would also be part of the larger discussion.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I'm fine with doing this. I think we need to know, like, what the full cost could be of this, and taken from that line item that we worked into that, makes sense. We have to know, how much the full thing will possibly be and what the scale of it will be, so, there's no other way of really finding out, I'm not an expert on that. I don't think any of us
No.
are, so.
No.
So yeah, definitely, so I make a motion to, take the amount that was it the 3,750,
Yes,
and what was the change on that?
that was it,
Oh,
3,750.
Okay, make a motion to take that from that line item, dedicated to the production and to use for this, feasibility study or
Budget consulting.
Consulting.
Phase one budget consulting.
Okay. Just need it.
I'll second.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, well, if there's nobody else.
I was gonna say real quick, I thought Oktoberfest went really well.
It did.
Thanks.
I thought it was a great turnout.
Thank you.
A lot of vendors, of course, a lot of people was there, so we had a little bit of rain at the very beginning, but it died that down, and we had a big turnout, so I was really happy. I thought it was a success.
Thank you. I appreciate it, and I appreciate, those of you that were able to attend and be there. That means a whole lot, so thank you.
All right, we just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Baker,
Yes.
Gamble,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.